Hello friends, welcome to my cozy haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you clicked on my video today. I'm sorry you can hear the noise. I think we have a grass patch behind our house, behind the gardens. It's like communal grass area, and the council come and cut it, and he decided to do that now. Thank you. But hey, I'd rather they do it than the residents have to do it. So yeah, so that's what that noise is. Hopefully it'll shuffle off in a wee while. But yeah, hi, how are you? If you're in a heat wave, I hope you're doing okay. I really do. We're lucky up here, the temperatures are warm. I think it was 26 or something yesterday where we are, and I think it's going to be 26 again today. So it's hot, but not hot, not like the 30s that are getting down south and in Wales. So I just hope and everywhere else in the world, like Europe and everywhere. So I hope that you're all safe and okay. That's the most important thing. This past fortnight, we finished the eye drops. Mum and I were very happy to see 10 o'clock Monday night. But she's doing okay, she's doing fine. So that's the important thing. So yes, so it's nice to just be able to not have to listen for my phone going off and stuff like that. But I didn't mind doing it. I'm going to say that now. I was very glad that I was at home and able to do it for her. So yes, so that we just she needs to spend time now just getting her eye used to not having drops in it and just sort of working as it should do. But she's happy, which is the important thing. We've been out a couple of times. The other half's back, and he took us out for dinner or out for lunch on Tuesday, which was really lovely. And then he and I are going out this afternoon, so that's really, really nice. And then I'm going out for lunch with a friend tomorrow. So I'm doing all the social things just now. It's lovely. It's really nice to just do that. And Mum's been out shopping, doing food shopping with me. I don't know why this is flickering, but hey ho, we'll just have to keep going with it. I don't know whether it's if I move, does it flicker? I don't know. Anyway, see, I just did it there. Or is it just my eyes? Could just be my eyes. Anyway, let's get on to the books, shall we? So the first book I finished this fortnight was Princess Elizabeth's Spy by Susan Ella McNeill. I gave this 4 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So we meet Maggie Hope, and Maggie, when we meet her, is at Secret Service training up in Arisic. I know exactly where she is, so that's fine. But she's very good at the mental stuff, but shall we say she's not really built for the physical stuff. Like the assault course. That's just really not Maggie. And they decide that she's better off back down south in London. And those that be in MI5 are aware that there is a plot to kidnap Princess Elizabeth and to kill her parents and put the Duke of Windsor and Wallace Simpson onto the throne because they were Nazi sympathisers. So they decide to put Maggie into Windsor Castle to look after Princess Elizabeth, although Coffee's there and there are various other people there. What's going on with this computer? Anyway. Sorry folks, I really don't know what's going on. Every time I talk it flickers. And there's plenty of juice in the battery. Anyway, we'll see if we can get through this. All the people that were with Princess Elizabeth when she's growing up are there. And we find out about Christmas at Windsor Castle. She teaches Princess Elizabeth how to work code and how to write code. Which comes in very, very handy. She's trying to work out who it is that is going to try and, obviously kidnap the princess. There's a murder that happens and she tries to work out who the murderer is. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a very, very good read. I've got the next one in the series. This is book 2 in the series. I didn't read the first one. Do I need to have read the first one? I'm not sure. You probably should have done, but I didn't get it because this was a freebie at the local charity Tesco's. Did I need to have read the first one? Maybe to get a wee bit backstory, but no, I'm looking forward to seeing where book 2 takes us, because it doesn't leave on a cliffhanger, but there are certain unanswered questions, shall we say. So I'm really looking forward to picking up book 2. The next book I read was Dakota Home by Debbie Macomber. This is book number 2 in the Dakota series. I gave this one 4 out of 5. I should have said for the Princess Elizabeth I got 4.5. So we meet Maddie Washburn, who's come to Buffalo Valley, just as her friend Lindsay did. And Maddie's taken over the grocery shop. And she's made big changes. One of the big changes she's done is she's doing home deliveries. And people really like that. Especially those who live further out, who maybe can't get to town every week or every couple of weeks, she'll go deliver. She has got 2 of the high school boys working for her who absolutely love their job. She's making friends within the town. She's also managing to make friends with Jeb McKenna, and Jeb is one of the farmers. He's had an accident, he has a prosthetic leg, and he feels that everybody looks on him as a cripple and everything, but Maddie doesn't. Maddie just treats him, nobody does, but he just thinks it. And you can understand that, you really can understand that. But Maddie's like, no, they don't, and I don't. And she's, she gradually becomes friends with him. We also kind of catch up on what's happening with Lindsay and Gabe, and also with Gabe's brother. We catch up with other characters. There's one teenager who annoys me. And I think she's going to get her comeuppance. She's nasty to her mother because she thinks her mother and father are divorced, and her father lives away, and her father's been feeding her stories about her mother. And her mother's really lovely. Her mother's working really hard to keep a roof over their heads, etc. And she's being helped by Maddie and Lindsay. She makes these wonderful quilts, and she's being helped by them. Also, Maddie is helping a local farm lady try and be more feminine to try and catch the eye of. The next book I read was the Mendocino Book Club by Nellie Brooks. So I gave this one 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So we meet. Sorry, I'm having to read this at the moment because my mind is slightly blanked in this. We meet Hannah, and Hannah and her husband have bought what was her childhood home in Mendocino Beach. And the day that they're driving down to move into the house. They get there, and she's really excited. And her husband goes, "You're not moving in here. I'm wanting a divorce. Take the car and go home." But they don't have a home. They've sold their house in San Jose. Her mother's on a cruise. She can't get into her mother's house. And she's like, "But where about my stuff?" He said, "Oh, my stuff's been delivered. Yours is stuck in the mountains." And I'm like, yes, you can understand what I said. So she is absolutely devastated and just isn't thinking properly at the moment, as you can well imagine. And she drives to the local kind of diner and falls apart in the car. And one of the ladies that works there comes to her and says, "Are you okay?" And it was really kind to her, like, "Oh, could you come in? I need a blind taste test, or somebody I don't know to taste test this pie recipe for me." And Hannah sort of goes and becomes friends with this lady, with Sadie. And Sadie goes, "Hannah Banana." And that was Hannah's nickname growing up. And they grew up together. They were childhood friends. And Hannah explains what's happened. And she's like, "Is the apartment still available above the bookshop?" And Sadie goes, "Yes, I think it is." So Hannah goes to the bookshop and asks, she thinks it should be the owner that was there, but he's I don't know, he's passed away or he's not working there, but his son is. And his son goes, yeah, you can have the apartment as long as you clean it out. But the apartment is pretty pristine. So Hannah starts living there. And then the next day she goes to the farmer's market and meets Sadie, and then suddenly realises that her husband is walking around this market with another woman who's pregnant. And she confronts him, and the woman goes, who are you? And she goes, I'm his wife. And the woman runs away. And she shouts at the husband. Her husband's like, how dare you do this? You should have gone back to San Jose. And she's like, where was I supposed to go? And while she's also there, she meets another lady. And the other lady goes, Hannah Banana is another lady that she meets that she grew up with. And the three of them decide to start a book club in the bookshop. And this is the story of the three of them rekindling their friendship, the three of them helping each other out, and the three of them helping, or the two of them plus the new gentleman in the bookshop helping Hannah basically get what she deserves and giving her husband what he deserves. It was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved the characters, loved the setting, and I'm definitely going to be reading the next book in this series because I just so enjoyed it. It was a really good read, and it was just one that I was like, yeah, I definitely want to keep reading this one. The next one I read was The Secrets of Thistle Cottage by Kerry Barrett. I gave this one 4 out of 5. This one is set in North Berwick. Now, if any of you know anything about Scottish history, there was a famous witch trials in North Berwick way back in the 16th, 17th century. And for those of you that have read Shadow of the Night by Deborah Harkness. Hold on 1 minute. Yes, it's Shadow of Night. You will know that she got it wrong. She mentioned the witch trials of Berwick. It wasn't. It was the witch trials of North Berwick, because I knew by the characters that she mentioned about that. But I'm going to let her off with that. So this one has got something to do with that. So we meet in 1661. We meet Honor Seton and her daughter Alice, and people come to them for help with things like childbirth, the common cold. They basically do herbal medicine. And obviously at times, in that time, to do something like that was maybe not the best thing in the world, but it's the way they made their living, and it's, they helped all the people in the town. One night there's this big storm, and the laird of the town, he comes and asks for their help because his wife, his mother, and I think it's his mother, his nephew and nephew's tutor have all been struck down by this illness that just started in the morning. So they go, and they're able to save some of them, but not all of them. The laird's wife passes away, as does the tutor. But the wee boy survives, as does the mother. And the laird is really, really angry, and he's basically out to get them. But the laird's brother is very thankful because they saved his mother, and they saved his son. And the wee boy is obviously very grateful, as is the laird's mum. But the laird is out for revenge, basically. And it's what will happen to these two ladies. So there's that part of the story. Then the second part of the story is present day, and you meet Tess Blythe. And Tess Blythe's husband was a big shot in TV until he was found to have been a very bad man. And herself and her daughter move into Thistle Cottage in North Berwick. And her daughter is having to do a history project. They decide to do, because of Thistle Cottage, it's known as the Witch's Cottage. Herself and her new friends decide to do a project about the witches, and of course they learn about Alice and Honor and what happened to them and their story. It was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I liked the dual timeline. I liked sort of seeing how things were working out. So this was my first book by Kerry. I would very much read another one by her because I just so enjoyed it. I then read A Place in the Sun by Jo Thomas. I love Jo Thomas's work. I don't know why I didn't pick this one up last summer. I really don't. But I'm really glad I've read it now. I gave this one 4.5. Now, we meet Thea. And Thea has come to Tuscany to do up a house that her husband had bought for herself and himself and their 2 kids as like a holiday home. And she arrives there and discovers it's not exactly in the condition in which she said it was going to be in, and her husband has passed away. But she decided to get the kids and herself out of UK, away from the memories of the restaurant that they'd run, that after he had passed away they struggled with, had to close it, etc. This is the story of their summer, of them getting the house ready for sale, or will it be for sale? Then getting involved in the local village, which is suffering because there are not many people coming to the village. People are moving away. She discovers that her husband had bought the house in a scheme of you do it up, either ready for resale or you come and live in it. And it was at a very reduced price, but she's only got so many weeks in which to basically get the house fit. And it's about the people in the village welcoming them, her discovering that she has possibly got skills that will enable the village to regenerate. It's lovely seeing her make friends. It's lovely seeing her kids make friends. And I just thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think I read this one in a day because I just got so immersed in the story that I just couldn't put it down. So if you're looking for a summer read and you want to be taken to Tuscany, England, Italy, with loads of lovely sounding food, like yum food, like really yum food, then this is for you because just really good. The next one I read was The Italian Garden by Charlotte Betts. I gave this one 4 out of 5. I really did enjoy it. Again, my first book reading by this lady. So, we meet Violet. And Violet, when we meet her to begin with, is working at Kew Gardens and has been working there throughout the First World War. But because the gentleman that had her position is coming back to work, then basically she has to vacate her position. And she is like, oh, what am I going to do? Add to that, her brother, who was in the First World War, is suffering from PTSD and shock and everything else, and is having to come out of the care facility or rehab facility he was in. But their stepmother is really not happy and is like, get that invalid out of there, get this lunatic out of here. And it so happens that Violet puts an advert in a paper, and this gentleman, Lucas, he sees it, arranges to meet her, and tells her about the gardens of Villa Marchesi in Italy, in Lake Como. And he wants her to come and basically restore a forgotten garden. And she agrees on the condition that her brother can come with her. And it's the story of their time in Lake Como. It's the story of them discovering some secrets that the Marchesi family didn't know. It's the story of them reconnecting a family. It's the story of how they go about restoring the garden and there's a romance in there as well. It was beautifully written. I would love to, if this garden was real, I'd love to see it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the characters, the plot line, everything was just really, really enjoyable. So I'm really glad I've read it. And the last book I've read is Christmas at Holiday Ranch by Anna Grace. I am really, really glad, really happy that Anna sent me the EPUB of this. So Anna, thank you very, very much. This comes out this is the book number 3 of the Holiday Ranch series. And this is published on the 1st of September. So I was really happy to get it. So we meet Waylon, and Waylon we met in the very, very end of, sorry, we met in the very, very end of book 2. And he's a veteran, and he has come to the ranch as part of the wedding party, or engagement party for this big wedding that is actually going to be held at the ranch. So we've moved on some months. And Waylon is really, really happy at Holiday Ranch. And he goes into town one day to order some flowers, for his mother, because she's not feeling well. And he meets Charlie, who is the local florist, and her little son. And Charlie's trying to persuade Oren, her son, to put on a pullover with a teddy bear on it because she's got him a present, and the present is a teddy bear and it's in a box. But he's not having this pullover. It's scratchy and it's scary, and it's like, no, I'm not wearing this. And Waylon comes in and all this, and he orders the flowers and etc. And Oren sort of tries to help, and for a 5-year-old, he's brilliant. He's like, no, you don't want those. They won't look good. They're really not good. You don't want them, sort of thing. And he persuades Waylon to play cards with him while his mother makes up the bouquet and gets everything ready for sale. Then in comes Cash Holiday, and he's there because he needs Charlie's help with the big wedding, because the bride is a bit of a bridezilla in many ways. She's an influencer, and everything has got to be just so. And he persuades Oren to put his pullover on, and they open the teddy bear box, and Oren's like, bears are scary, bears shouldn't be with people, bears eat people. No, I'm not having the teddy bear, I'll take the box. So this box becomes his friend, it becomes his security. And Charlie accepts the job at Holiday Ranch, and it's basically the story of her helping the holidays out, spending time with Waylon. At one point, they are snowed in for Christmas, and it's like how the holidays and also the families of the two people getting married, how they all muck in together, and all the things to do. It was beautifully written. Great characters. I fell in love with Oren. He was just the most delightful little boy and full of so much fun, but he was a bit slightly grown up as well, or mimicked grown-uppery. And it was delightful. He would come out with these things and you're like, you're only 5, but you're just like, his box became a taco truck, and it was just so nice. And I liked Waylon and how he and Charlie, how they reacted to each other, and how Waylon got on with the Holiday siblings, how Charlie managed to help Eliana deal with Eloise, the bride, and managed to talk her down for some things, and change things in the flash of just a blink of an eye, because things weren't going to work out. It was brilliantly, really beautifully written, full of festive cheer and fun, and I just thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you, Anna and Harlequin, for the EPUB of this. I am so grateful. and I look forward to book 4. So what am I reading next? I'm reading Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst. I'm reading this, buddy reading this with Emily from Emily Reads. I will leave a link to her channel down below. I'm 2 chapters behind. Sorry, Emily. I'm on chapter 11. I should be further ahead than that. But it doesn't matter. I will catch up. So I'm reading that. I'm still reading Still Meadow Sampler. I'm just dipping in and out of that one. I'd like to get the summer chapter finished by the end of this month. I'm sure I will. And then I think I will pick up The Little French Bookshop by Cécile Pivot. So yeah, this is another one of my library books. So, oh. This is an epistolary novel by the looks of it. Oh, fantastic. I hadn't realised that. That's going to be really fun to read. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going to be picking up next. I really don't know why this is flicking in and out, guys. I hope it hasn't annoyed you too much. I just hope that this computer's going to last. It's like, please don't give up on me. I can't afford to change you just now. Please just keep working. But anyway, that's it for this video. What have you been reading in the last fortnight? I'd love to know. Any of the books I've mentioned, do they appeal to you? Again, I would love to know. What are your plans for the coming weekend? My plans, as I'm going out for lunch tomorrow, I will be watching the European Athletics Championships. I've been watching that all week, thoroughly enjoying it. And I'll be reading, and hopefully that's going to be a very quiet week. I think I've got the laundry up to date. I've started tidying. The house isn't that tidy, but I've hoovered, and I've just got the hoover and polish downstairs. But that'll get done maybe Monday. So I'm hoping that the weekend is going to be nice and chill and relax. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And on your way down to chat with me in the comments, if you haven't already, please, I would love you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It just keeps my channel growing. I think I'm something like two subscriptions away from 700, which I would love to hit by the end of the month, if possible. But that's it for today. I will see you in my next video, which is... hopefully I will try and get it out maybe next week or the week after. We'll see how we feel. But until my next video, friends, stay safe. Happy reading. Bye.